Hey there, I'm Joseph Pinos. Recently, I read this book called We Are Not From Here. It's a story about the treacherous tale that some unfortunate souls have to go through in order to make their way to the United States. After reading this book and seeing the menacing and savage trail that some poor immigrants have to go through in order to live even slightly better lives, I've decided to take action. And I've made my way down to New Mexico because I want to help those poor immigrants get a better life. I want to help them get into the United States.
People ask me, Joseph, why do you want to help people get into America? Well, the answer is for young children like Pedro here.
Ayúdame, por favor, ayúdame.
You see, Pedro is actually asking for help to get into the United States. He's been trying to get into the United States for 30 years, and he's only 8 years old. For the low price of $20,000 a month, you can help young children like Pedro here find a home in the US. Isn't that right, Pedro?
But that's not the only reason I want to help some people make their way into the United States. You see, this story reminds me a lot of my father, because my father lived in a very similar life to the main character. In this book, the protagonist leaves his life behind in Guatemala, not because he wants to, but because he has to. In order to make a better life for himself, after falling into some deep water, the protagonist sacrifices a lot in his journey. And in the end, you ask yourself, was it really worth it? I can tell you, from my father's experience, it was worth it. Because now my father owns a restaurant in Montvale named Del Pino, which is where you should go if you feel like dining out one day and are hoping for some 5-star Italian food. I strongly suggest reading this book if you want to understand the troubles that people go through in reality. While the book is fiction, the adventure that the characters go through is nothing less of 100% realistic.